Hi guys, it's Haley here. Today I am going to be baking again. Last time I baked a chocolate dream cake. If you haven't seen that, the link will be in the description. You better go check it out because it took me forever to make that. But this time, the recipe I'm making today is really easy. It's a microwavable cake. I've made this before and it's amazing. It tastes so delicious. You guys have to try this. I'm gonna share my recipe and you guys can try it at home or anywhere. So let's begin. First off, you're obviously gonna grab a bowl. Obviously, what else are you gonna make it on the counter? I'm just joking. Anyways, we need to make the batter. So we're gonna need one, basically I can't speak properly today for some reason. I don't know why. But like, we're gonna need a half cup of sugar. So let me just get that. Okay, so now we got our half cup sugar. Just pour it in the bowl right here. Now we're gonna need one egg. Let me just grab that. So I got myself an egg. It doesn't matter if the yolk is in it or not. So we're gonna crack an egg in this, making sure everything's in there. You wash your hands when we move on the next step, please. So now we need 1/3 cup of oil. Okay, I got the oil. Just pour it all in the bowl. Make sure all of the cups and tablespoons and teaspoons, whatever you're measuring things, they're all washed, including the bowl actually. Make sure it's also washed. Next, you need is 1 cup of flour. Okay, we got ourselves 1 cup of flour. Just pour it in the bowl. Make sure everything is in it. Next, you need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, I got myself 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Just pour it in the bowl. Next, you're gonna need 1 pinch of baking soda. We're gonna need 1 pinch of baking soda. Let me not really an expert on this. I don't think that was 1 pinch, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Make sure your hands are washed. Okay, that was 1 pinch. Let me put this back and also wash my hands because now my hands are covered in baking soda. Next, you need is 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. We got ourselves 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. So now let's pour it in the bowl. Next, we're gonna need half cup of hot water. Okay, we got half cup of hot water. So now let's pour it in the bowl. Be careful, obviously it's gonna be really hot. We're gonna need half teaspoon coffee. Okay, we got half teaspoon coffee. So now pour it in the batter. Next we're gonna do is mix all of this up. I don't have a spatula, so I'm just gonna use this, just a wooden spoon. It's gonna take a while, so I'm gonna skip this part. Yeah, I've mixed everything. So now the next thing you want to do is pour it in a separate pan. Just pour it all in this. Okay, so I got everything in the pan. Next thing you want to do is microwave this for 2.5 minutes. And if you still think it isn't cooked after 2.5 minutes, you can check. You can literally check by poking a skewer in there. Like, poke a skewer in there. If you see there's batter on it, then microwave it more. So now I'm gonna put this for 2.5 minutes. Okay, so the cake is done. It looks like this. But now we're gonna move on to making the fudge for it. For the fudge, you're gonna need 200 grams of cooking chocolate. So, you know what? I'm just gonna make it in this because I feel like if I poured it in that, it might fall out, and I don't want that. So yes, now we have 200 grams of cooking chocolate or dark chocolate. And now we're gonna need 4 tablespoons of milk. I am gonna skip this part because the milk I have has like pieces of, I don't know what's it called in English, but it's in my language it's called malai, and I don't want malai in that. So I'll have to filter it. So that's gonna take a while. So I'm just gonna skip that part. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we got the milk in it. It's 4 tablespoons. Now all you're gonna have to do is microwave this as well. Okay, I got it out of the microwave and I started mixing it. Mine looks a bit too liquidy, so I'm just gonna keep mixing till it's more fudgy type. If yours is also like this, just do the same thing. But if you want it like that, just do the next step already. Pour it on the cake and spread it all over on the cake, and then you can eat it. You can also add design. Well, not designs. You can, if you have sprinkles. I don't have them. If you have sprinkles, you can pour it on the cake. And another thing, if you want it to be brownies, you can just make this, like make a cake, the entire process, and just cut them in like in pieces. In that way, you can have brownies. So yeah, okay. I've mixed it for a while, and it looks like this. Now it's perfect. So next thing you want to do is just spread it all over the cake. Pour it on the cake. And got it all on the cake as much as I could, and now you just have to spread it. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't have sprinkles. I could have just sprinkled all over this, but it's alright. Either way, it's gonna taste delicious. If you have like any other different syrups, like I have chocolate on my fingers. If you have like syrups like strawberry syrup, maple syrup, I don't know, and even whipped cream, you can just design it. That will enhance the taste. It will make it more. That's all. It doesn't reach my expectations, but it's still gonna taste amazing. Anyways, that's all for today. This was the recipe for a microwavable cake. That's what I call it. You can, like I said earlier, you can turn it into brownies by using a knife and cutting them into uh, pieces. So yeah, that's all. If you're gonna try this at home, leave a comment and tell me how it tastes. Because like I've mentioned, I forgot when I mentioned this, but like I've made this before and it tasted amazing. It was my first time making that. And if you're making this, tell me if you like it. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll meet in my next video. Bye bye.